I saw some quotes coming out of Celtics practice yesterday.
Of course you did.
Well, listen, just happening to be on my timeline. And so I'm like, I see this quote from Malcolm Brogdon, and I'm looking at him like, that has to be a lot. I mean, that has to be like out of context or something, right? That has to be one of those quotes where it's like, oh, it reads worse than it sounds. So I tortured myself, and I actually went to one of these Boston YouTube pages, and I found the Boston media sessions from yesterday. And Malcolm Brogdon gave his assessment of the Heat and this series. And I took great offense to what Malcolm Brogdon had to say.
Let us hear it, and then we'll agree with you or not, because you tend to get sensitive for all the wrong
I don't
things.
appreciate that. I'm not sensitive. I'm not sensitive at all.
You are.
But
what?
Nope, I'm not sensitive. But this
you
is
started the conversation off about what somebody said. That's the epitome of sensitive.
Malcolm Brogdon in his first big game of his career. He's got things to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here's Malcolm Brogdon.
They're physical, they're versatile. They shoot the ball at a high level, and they got a superstar in Jimmy that's playing like one of the best players in the world. So on top of that, they have a great coach and staff. So they're a well-rounded group that out-toughs most teams they play. But that's not going to happen with us.
Whoa! Hey, whoa! Hold on. So I was getting ready to get on you.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to say, oh no, he's saying nothing but nice things. Then he threw the little cherry on the top.
Yup.
But here's the deal.
What?
Can I just say this? Tough on a video screen is different than tough in person.
That's right.
Okay? Because, we see this all the time in the fight game. You thinking, oh, that guy hitting, he ain't hurt nobody.
Right.
But if you got hit with that two-piece, you be night-night. Right?
Well, that's the thing.
And so I would be real careful.
I would tread lightly if I was Malcolm Brogdon.
Especially when the strength of this team has been the second unit.
If I was Eric Spoelstra, and I know he's not a big bulletin board material guy, but not that. You're not gonna allow Malcolm Brogdon, finesse point guard, shooting all over the place, is gonna talk about toughness in a series. Which, by the way, you guys let the Hawks get two on you. The Hawks, dude. Okay? And then you got pushed to the brink by the Sixers, who are as mentally soft as it gets. So it's real easy to sit here from your cute little practice there, Malcolm Brogdon, and you're going to say, well, that's not going to happen to us. Well, let me tell you something, dude. You guys are like minus 500 favorites. Don't lose. Don't you say all of this stuff. Oh, they're not going to out-tough us. They're not going to out-hustle us. Don't you lose then, dude, because you're talking a big game. Because if there's one thing, statistically, loose balls, charges taken, rebounds, screen, all of the hustle stuff, Miami's leading in all of it. In fact, they took on the all-intangibles team this last series and out-intangibled them. So...
I had to think about that for a second. I'm starting to think who's playing. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, so big game from Malcolm Brogdon. And here's the other thing. He had a bit of a Goran Dragic moment yesterday. Little too honest. So he also revealed yesterday that they weren't really locked in at practice yesterday and that they had to be honed in. And I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to reveal. So this team that's going to out-tough Miami, they're not going to be out-toughed, needed to be locked in at practice. And this was some more Malcolm Brogdon yesterday. I was like, that's a little bit of a little bit too honest from Malcolm Brogdon.
It's a maturity thing. I think the guy we followed all season, our leader, is Al Horford. And I think he's going to continue to lead us. There's a point today in practice where, guys were – it was a little light. Practice was light, and guys were a little loose. Now brought us together in the middle of practice and just told us to tighten it up. And I think it's those constant reminders from our leader that's going to help us stay poised, start the series poised, and really locked in.
I mean, like, all right, so you guys aren't focused, and you need Al Horford to lock you in. And here's the other thing that I found strange about.
I'm gonna stop you from this for this reason.
Why?
Because if that was UD, you would be in here acting a damn fool. So don't act like everybody has one of those guys. UD is a guy with wait.
Well, here's the thing.
Wait. When UD,
I'll tell you what.
When UD sees things not going right, now I say the only difference between that and what he's talking about is ain't nobody gonna talk about that crap.
Well, that's first of all, yeah, you keep that in house. We were having a loose practice.
You
Second
talk
of all,
about that like months later and say, yeah, what was the turning point? Man, we had a bad practice and UD called us in and we had to get our act together.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They don't need UD to do that on this team. In fact, Spo was talking about this yesterday where he's like, guys just wanted the game plan. Like, let's get to it. We're ready. Like, they've been chomping at the bit now for days to get this series started. Yeah. They already have, as they say, on the task at hand, what they want to lead. And the other thing is, they don't need they don't need Udonis Haslam to do that because they got Jimmy Butler. And no one's more locked in than Jimmy Butler. And so the fact that I'm hearing they're a little loosey-goosey, willy-nilly, very much sounds like how they've been playing in this postseason, by the way. Oh, we're on, we're off, we're on. Look, they're very talented. Don't get me wrong. But that little bit of an arrogance, that lack of focus, just made me kind of perk up a little bit. Because here was Jimmy Butler, and this was him talking about afterwards the teammates and how they're feeding off his confidence right now, which is quite sky high. Jimmy?
I think so, yeah. They hear the way that I talk. They hear the way that I go about everything. I back down from no challenge, so therefore we back down from no challenge. We take everything a day at a time. I speak for all of us when I say we're so grateful to be able to do what we do every single day and be around the guys and the coaches in the organization, the ownership that we do have. So we're comfortable, we're confident, but we realize it's not going to be easy. We will say that. But confident, I don't think that's the thing that any of us lack.
Goosies.
It don't take
Goosies.
Dude.
No, don't say that.
Can I just say something?
Goosey.
You know what?
Hmm?
I'm going to just call it for what it is.
What?
You are a Goosey's lady of the night.
Dude, do not call me a Goosey's floozy.
Wow.
Don't call me a Goosey's floozy.
Hey,
I don't like that.
It don't take
It's
much.
not true.
Hey, you throw Goosey's out there.
No, dude, that's
everything.
Goosey's right.
Yo,
No, because it's just like Malcolm Brogdon. What have you done? And you're gonna sit here. You've been sitting in Pacerland for the last, whoever knows how long, and you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, they're not gonna out physical us." Dude, what are you talking about?
Hey.
You have the audacity to come here with your chest out in this series where you nearly got taken out by the fattest bum of them all. Get out of here.
Hey, you know what? That's one of those situations that you just sit back and let the talking. Yeah. You go ahead. Let's say, all right, you know what you do? Here's what you do. Here's what they're doing in the Heat locker room. Duly noted. That's it. And then you go bring him that work.
That's not gonna happen to us.
Then you go bring him the business.
Tell him it sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. What Malcolm Brogdon saying sounds good. Now prove it to me. That's all.
Right.
Bum.
Right. You know what? It's like everybody have a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, let's see you go out there, dude.
When you actually playing against that intensity versus seeing that intensity on film, it has a different feel to it. And I'm telling you, that's firsthand. You see guys, look, I give you a perfect example. If a team watch film of Randy Moss and see his turnover, he doesn't look that fast. But when you running next to him and he got that turnover, but he taking a yard, every step he takes is a yard longer than yours, and you realize you can't keep up, that's a different story. You don't get the full picture of that. Tough is hard to visualize. You got to compete against tough. And for him to just make the assumption that ain't going to happen to us, that's what Milwaukee said.
Yep.
That's what the Knicks said.
Yep.
Right? We got to match their intensity. They couldn't. So you're not going to just come in here and run your mouth and bump your gums like it's no small feat to match the intensity of the Miami Heat. That's a fact. Because nobody's done it so far.
I'm excited for this one, man. That one got me fired up. I was like, listen, I was already ready for this one.
Up.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm like, who are you? Who are you to talk about desire? Malcolm Brogdon.
Can I just say something?
Johnny come lately.
I'm gonna give you an analogy.
Hmm?
You know why you laugh at a comedy club? Not because you hear something funny, but because your mindset going into it is to laugh. So you looking for a reason to laugh.
I wasn't looking for it. In fact,
you are looking for a reason.
I wasn't looking for it. In fact,
come in here salty.
It got thrown
you
on my
all the time.
I got him.
It got thrown on my no. I got thrown on my Twitter front porch yesterday, and I was like, huh.
No, it wasn't thrown on your Twitter front porch.
It did.
You said it yourself. You were listening to the Boston media.
But that was after I saw the quote. I was like, man, there's no way he said this, and it sounds like as bad as it reads. And it was worse.
And literally, it's a 22-second cut. And you only the thing that stung you the most was
the last half second.
Yes,
the last half second, Leroy. Thank you.
Because he was being a phony.
No, he wasn't being a phony.
He
was being honest. But he feels, he's just giving you what he feels. He feels that Miami won't be able to out physical them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, listen, good. And they needed a rah-rah speech from Al Horford to get them locked in for an Eastern Conference Finals.
He's the vet. He's the vet.
You know who does it? You know who should get you locked in? Jason Tatum should get you locked in.
I think 51 points get you locked in.
Okay, dude. Hey, good for him. How about you score 56?
Toes.
What?
Here's the deal, right? You can say whatever you want all the way up until 8:30 tonight. Then you got to play.
Probably more like 8:45. The way these things are going lately.
Dude, this drives me crazy. I get all my stuff ready, got my drinks in my cooler. I go out to my jacuzzi, turn it on. Boom. 8:35, we still watching people talking.
Leroy, you're a former athlete. Your kickoff never started at 1 p.m.
It started at 104.
104? Okay.
Yeah. But wait, every NFL game started at the same time.
Usually,
the only reason why that changed is this reason, Vlad. Because we never used to do the national anthem with us on the field. And then when that changed, they do the national anthem during the broadcast. And so that's the 3 minutes.